this is how they line up. It is KUAI and Wang YIDI who are the higher ranked of the doubles pairs, although we do see KUAI playing alongside Wang MANYU. They're ranked #1 in the world. Wang YIDI and Sun YINGSHA are ranked #3, so there's a bit of a change-up for this one. Roman Klecker overseeing this match as well as the coin toss.
Blue, red for you. You won. Receive. You will serve which side? First server. Wang YIDI, first server, first receiver.
Now then, Adam Bobrow, what do you make of this one? Because we've got Wang YIDI and KUAI, very effective as a partnership. KUAI is such a handy doubles player, isn't she, for Team China? But then you've got Wang MANYU and Sun YINGSHA who are going for redemption here in Las Vegas. Is that fair to say after their respective singles campaigns?
That is fair to say. I think normally before this event, you would say that these two would be the strong favorites, except they're playing a righty-lefty combo. Here's a look at how they got here for that matter. 3-0 over Adriana Diaz and Kritika Pavad, mixed association pairing, and another mixed association pairing in Shin Yu-bin and Do Hoi Kim, then Kim Na-young and Yu Hana. They've only dropped one game, and that was to Shin Yu-bin and Do Hoi Kim. These two you would expect to be the dominant force. But as you mentioned, the way things have gone in singles and the way things have gone in mixed doubles, KUAI is in wonderful form. Wang YIDI only fell to Honoka Hashimoto. So an early exit for the #4 in the world. Yeah, I think there's only really one player out here. I don't know. No one's at full confidence right now. KUAI, a tough match against Chun Yi earlier, but here in doubles, getting through Wang Yuan and Sabine Winter of Germany without dropping a game. Lima Ito and Hina Hayata in the decider. Zheng Yijing and Liu Jun of the Chinese Taipei team in the semifinals, game 5. They've had some tough tests. I would say that's a good warm-up for pressure.
And a good warm-up for pressure as well. KUAI earlier on in the women's singles semi went to 5 games against Chun Yi. That was another difficult one for her, just falling short at the very last moment. So she's another one who will want to prove a point here.
Went to 5 or went to 7?
Did I say 5?
You did?
I meant 7. She went the distance.
Dude, we are so much on the same wavelength. It's amazing.
She went the distance is what I'm trying to say. She went to a decider, but the fan vote, wow, very much in favor of Sun YINGSHA and Wang MANYU, the #1 and 2 as individuals. But Wang and KUAI, well, they are hot on their heels, and it's not about the individuals, is it? It's about how they gel as a team.
That's exactly the point. We've seen a lot of doubles pairs do incredibly well because they set themselves up. They just complement each other's games. Like peanut butter and jelly. Just two things sometimes come together and work really well.
To serve, love all.
Green beans and ketchup. Ice cream and olive oil. Give it a try.
Love one.
So a little reminder, you must alternate shots in doubles. A serve must be from the right side of the table on the diagonal, and players communicate by signaling to each other under the table. Good pressure on the parallel here. Wang MANYU driving home a point. Sun YINGSHA, rather. Good times. Thank you, replay.
Love.
If you look at the world rankings, the women of China have danced with so many different partners and still dominate the world rankings.
1-3.
Well, we were just mentioning earlier before this match started that normally we don't see these two pairings. We see KUAI with Wang MANYU, Wang YIDI and Sun YINGSHA. So how do you make that switch to playing against your teammate or playing with your adversary?
Well, I guess it's all part of what you sign up for, you know, the greater good. When you play for Team China, you trust those above you.
5-1.
After all, the players have been amazing, but the leadership have worked incredibly hard to make sure that Team China, year in and year out, takes the most important titles. Think about how rare it is. What, a Korean pair? I don't know, just to play a final. it's so rare for someone non-Chinese to be playing a final at a Grand Smash.
5-2.
The reason I bring that up is, in short, it seems that the higher powers, now Wang Liqin in charge of CTTA with the Vice President and Ma Long, are in really smart hands. Good pressure and placement, driving Wang Manyu behind the table. Wang YIDI with the quick timing, quick recovery. Big step around there, fast feet from Wang YIDI. And again, looking for that wide shot. Finds it.
Four, 5.
And interestingly as well, with the KUAI Man Wang YIDI partnership, Wang YIDI went out of the singles in the round of 16, so she's the best rested of all these players, but she's partnering the one who's got the most time under her belt, over 5 hours before her semi-final today.
Yeah, I don't know if being well rested at this level, these are players that are just constantly on the grind. Just about everybody flies out within a day of when they're eliminated, and they get back to training immediately somewhere else in the world.
6-5.
You might even argue that I think it's good wording to say that Wang YIDI is the best rested, and probably true. But that said, coming in cold, I mean, the first round is the toughest for many of the top seeds. It's like they've played each other before, the way they counter some of these shots.
5-7.
Full stroke forehand from YINGSHA as she covers the middle, and Didi's right on top of it. Wang YIDI with the counter. That said, it's the number 2 seeds, Wang Manyu and YINGSHA, that are leading right now.
6-7.
And with these 4 players who know each other so well, what is going to be the key?
It's a good question. For me, it's going to be wise play. It's going to be clever serves and receives.
7-all.
Again, as I mentioned earlier, a left-handed, right-handed combo tends to have an advantage because it's more comfortable to share space. So the 2 righties are going to have to play to the wide forehand early where they can, recognize opportunity for parallel shots to get their opponents to cross over. You can feel that right now in that last rally, Wang Manyu and YINGSHA, a lot of passive play. It's basically the long push from YINGSHA, the invitation to open the rally as Wang YIDI drives it to Wang Manyu. There it is, a bit of confidence and freedom. When I think KUAI Man, I think fearless. Wang YIDI right now recognizing an opportunity quickly. Fortunately for her, it was the long way across the table. Good to be in the VIP section. They got little lamps there, that's nice. See what you're eating. Full commitment on the step around. YINGSHA's forehand. You could paint it, but you wouldn't be able to capture it perfectly. There just aren't enough colors in the palette.
Nine-all.
A good parallel here as KUAI Man ties it up at 9 points apiece. Third towel break, last 2-serve combination. Towel break is like a mini timeout. And for a match where there are no coaches on benches, as both sides are representing the same association, Team China, there's going to have to be a lot of thinking and a lot of clear communication. Full stroke forehand, Wang Manyu, one of the strongest forehands in terms of having a little bit more racket speed than many. Taller than most on the team, although Chun Yi's sort of taken that title in recent history. It's game point for Wang Manyu and YINGSHA.
10-all.
Just catches the top of the net, scores at juice now. This is one of those games that really could go either way. You wouldn't want to call it. Both pairs so evenly matched in this opener. It's that Wang Manyu forehand that's causing trouble.
It has been a few points now. So despite all the talk about the hand signals, which you could see there happening under the table for a moment, same on the receiving side. They'll whisper from time to time as well. Second game point. Inside out. Left-handed bread and butter. Don't look for it at the market, but watch it out here. Steps around, sends it out of reach. Look at the bend on that ball. She's sacrificing topspin and security to take that risk, and it pays off. Little fortune here sets up Wang Yidi and KUAI Man the game point.
Oh, she is frustrated with that one, Wang Yidi.
It's not easy to get a point against the world #1 and world #2. In terms of generations, it's not necessarily about age. I think it's more about when they blossom. Wang MANYU and YINGSHA came up around the same time when Wang MANYU was 18. YINGSHA was 16 coming onto the scene. Doesn't miss by much. KUAI Man extended to the wide forehand. Now this for me was going to be a key from the start. For the right-handed players, the world #1 and world #2. Secret. There it is, the wide forehand. Another game point for the second seeds. Looking for the opportunity. Shasha quickly apologizing, raises her hand as if to say, my bad, I normally should be held accountable, I can make this. But again, the quality of every shot coming in is not the same as, say, 4th seed in the world.
14-13.
KUAI Man spins in frustration as she goes long, and it's another game point now.
The incredible athleticism it takes to set up these shots. KUAI Man down the line, Wang Yidi inside out. They really have a lot of footwork in this rally. Look at Wang Yidi flying through, and she comes all the way around, channeling her inner Yu Sung Min out here. She was the exact opposite side of the table, corner to corner. All that just to save a game point. 5th deuce. Shot to finish them all. Wang MANYU, after a bunch of uncomfortable backhands, covered the middle of the table. Wang MANYU rips that one quite comfortably, and it's just got a different level of speed. Another game point for Wang MANYU and YINGSHA. Shasha on the serve. Forehand flick does it. Wang MANYU inside the table, getting up on the toes. This was quite an extended game one. 30 points played, and it's a best-of-5 women's doubles final. But this sure took a lot. If you want to talk about well-rested, well, stamina tested in game one.
Now I know that Team China has the craziest fans and the best cheers, so I want to test it out, okay? Wang Yidi! Wang Yidi! YINGSHA! YINGSHA!
Well, it is the second seeds who just edged that one, but Wang Yidi, KUAI Man, they had their chances. Psychologically, in a best-of-5, when you go that close in the opening game, how important important is it to win it? Because you don't have that much time in a best of 5.
1 love.
8% more important.
Love
Maybe
2.
not the most interesting. I just figured takes 4 to win a best of 7, 25% of the way there, and you're 1/3 of the way there with 33, so there you go. Oh, a wild chase out here. Cirque the spin. Welcome to Las Vegas. Amazing chasing out here. Wait till they get the trapeze artists out.
3-1.
But to address your question about psychologically taking game number 1, it's important because it's a bigger piece of the pie. But I do feel that the trailing team here knows that they're capable.
3-2.
Had they been up 10-5 and were beaten by that scoreline, it'd be a little bit tougher to find confidence, but they're masters in this. They make their living winning, so they know how to put the past behind them. Take the good from what you can, silver linings.
I got the sense they were just testing each other out in those opening
2-4.
stages of that rally.
It often feels that way in the touch play. It's sort of like bait, little tickle tickle. Hey, you want to attack this? I dare you. Think you can make a good shot against this? And then when finally the opportunity exposes itself, well, players are keen to take advantage.
3-4.
This is a very smart tactic. Hit it right back, get the players grouped up, and use the player who just hit the ball as an obstacle for their partner. That's why you'll see players sometimes ducking to the ground to get out of the way because they've got no place else to go. They're just an obstruction. Oh, look at that.
4-all.
Little flickaroo. Nice out to the wide forehand. Good wingspan from MANYU. Take another look here. Deep push. Not even a flick, just a deep push. Good thing for that second camera angle. 4 points apiece.
Four, 5.
You know, we saw the ages of the players at the beginning of this, and we might think of YIDI and KUAI as younger because they've been on the radar a little bit less, only more recently. But YIDI's 28. She's the big sister out here, 2 years older than MANYU.
5-all.
Great longevity as well for a country where the competition is so stiff and the turnaround is so quick.
It's a good point.
Six, 5.
That was always going to be an ambitious one for Sun YINGSHA to return, wasn't it? Doesn't quite have the same wingspan as some of the others.
It also caught the net here, so it didn't come quite as deep. Took a wider turn. And I think
5-7.
whatever Shasha doesn't have in wingspan, she makes up for with sun-like shoes, so light on her feet. So the second towel break here. It's the top seeds who are trailing in games, but leading 7-5, signaling their plan for receives so that KUAI knows what to expect from YIDI.
5-8.
I don't think Sun YINGSHA was expecting that, was she?
Well, that's the good news about having a teammate and having opponents. She wants her teammate to know and the opponent to be surprised. Now, that was definitely quite unexpected. 6 of the last 8 points for YIDI and KUAI.
9-5.
It's a full-time job out here, winning against the world #1 and world #2. Could even say a 9-5.
Ten, 5.
Well, 5 game points. It's a very different second game to the first. Going toe-to-toe, point for point. Monster scoreline at the end.
11-5.
What a way to finish it off.
Game to WANG, KUAI.
Nicely done, KUAI. Sends a rocket down the diagonal.
Quick and painless on top of the bounce. Kwaiman smooth and fearless. The signal there, thumbs up. Okay, give me a little bit of top spin perhaps. There are a lot of signs that if you're playing in local clubs are consistent, but at the international level, they all have their own cryptic coding. So no coaches on the benches, they'll talk things over and get ready. It's tied up at 1 game apiece, and in game number 3, we will find out who takes the lead and becomes 1 game closer to being the women's doubles champion at the first ever United States Smash.
Time.
Earn Canadian Tire money just for filling up at Petro-Canada and Gas Plus.
No flashlight, please. Thank you. Who will serve? Wang. Third game, Wang to serve. Love all.
Back for game 3, Wang YIDI. Starts it off and is driven behind the table. Pressure from the Xia Wang MANYU side. There's that Xia forehand, the placement as well as the power and the spin. Just watched. Wang MANYU was like Pop Goes the Weasel. She was a jack in the box throughout this point. She ducked and covered. That is disorienting. Time and time again, she squatted to get out of the way. You couldn't choreograph this to be more acrobatic than that. What an extended rally, and it's Wang YIDI behind the table to finish. Man, have we had some highlights today.
Yeah, that was one of the points of the championship so far. And what was interesting was it just illustrated how useful it is to have a lefty and a righty, because we saw it in that rally with Kwaiman and Wang YIDI. It was just, the synergy was really obvious in that rally.
Three-one.
Shot straight to the belly of Baby Buddha. Good shot on the parallel there as Kwaiman gets that full extension forehand into play.
Three-two. Two-four.
So the first towel break here, Kwaiman and Wang YIDI. After that relatively empty serve, again, you could see the label on it by the time it had come off its second bounce. It's 1 more point to their momentum, 13 of the last 16 for the top seeds on receive. What an answer.
2-5.
In position the whole time. It was just like a rotating circle here. Xia and Wang MANYU on the backhand corner. And then Wang YIDI says, nope, I'm changing it up. Welcome to Forehandville.
5-3.
Top edge of the racket here. Ball comes quickly off the table, as we've seen a few times in recent history. Again, a very fast table.
That was some speed right there. And MANYU YINGSHA drawing level. Some decent serving, though, from Wang YIDI, but they had the answers.
Yeah, serves have to be that much more specific in doubles because you only have half the table to serve two, so predictability is a big factor. High backhands are never easy. Wang YIDI gets up in the air to try to get on top of that one in the counter stroke.
Six all.
It's funny, I bet there are a lot of people out there watching. It's easy to watch and think to yourself, I'm pretty good. I play at my club, do pretty decently. I'll bet I could stand a chance against some of these athletes. Every single shot is so surprising, so low to the net. They have incredible adaptability. Look at this one, Wang MANYU getting low, sweeping, turning that corner. Touching ground completely, staying there for a moment, but a good response from KUAI.
6-8.
A mini break now for KUAI and Wang YIDI.
Yeah, quite different than the last high backhand. This time she made sure she got over it and played it a little more shallow on the table. Played for spin.
6-9.
And it's disappointing, isn't it? Wang MANYU finding the net and daylight now beginning to open up between these pairs.
Ten-6.
4 game points now for the #1 seeds. Were beaten in game #1, 16-14, but steadily handled game 2. KUAI with the backhand puts it away. In game 3, not too different than game #2, Rebecca.
You're absolutely right. Game #3 wrapped up 11 points to 6, 11 points to 5 in game 2, so they're very consistent, if nothing else. 2 games to 1, that is the lead then for the #1 seeds, and that was a really pulsating, compelling game #3, wasn't it? There was so much to choose from for whoever puts those highlights together. It is the top seeds with the lead, 2 games to 1 in this best of 5. Well, let's head down then to courtside and join John Dykes, who's got a pretty good view of how things are going down there.
I've got the same view of you right now in terms of Wang YIDI just saying a few things to KUAI there, but what I was doing throughout this match is keeping a close eye on that pairing in particular. And Wang YIDI plays a hugely important role. She's a calming influence. KUAI was allowing herself to get a little bit frustrated at times early on in this one. Wang YIDI doesn't say much, just a quiet word here and there. She's a calming presence, and she's brought the best out of the woman who's 7 years her junior. That's, as much as anything, why they're in front in this one.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Thanks very much, John. And that's what you were saying earlier, Adam. You know, Wang YIDI, 28 years of age, you know, relatively old in Chinese table tennis terms, but, you know, she's the guiding presence for the younger teammate, KUAI.
Yep, this was the age that Li Xiaoxia retired after an Olympic gold. Beautiful parallel here, Xiaoxia from behind the table. When you start to turn the corner, Xiaoxia's like, don't think you can leave early on me. KUAI making her step and paying for it dearly.
1-all.
I think Deng Yaping retired at 24. Many consider her the greatest of all time. 8 years at world #1. Wang YIDI, 4 years the senior.
Two-one.
That said, it might be right around peak age. Chun Meng, after all, doing quite well at 30. Ding Ning the same, retiring shortly after.
1-3.
So for Wang Manyu and Sun Yingsha, we were talking about motivation, if they'd be a little bit extra pumped or determined, considering the way their singles event went, which is way out of the ordinary. We expected that they would be playing tomorrow. Another pattern that's just too good. Like they're watching a GIF. Even hearing it, the sounds, the patterns, and the speed that it takes to get this ball back into play time and time again. Wang Yidi looking to get forward as much as possible. It's a wonderful push on the receive from Wang Yidi. KUAI gets the ball back quickly. Sha with not a bad response. Truls Morgard-like backhand, the way she lifts the elbow almost parallel to the wrist the whole time. Like a garage door opening. Speedy shot from Sha catches the edge of KUAI racket. Remember, it's a must-win right now for Wang Manyu and Sun Yingsha. The only way they can do this, sort of redeem their week in Vegas, would be in the decider, game number 5.
Oh, brilliant pressure from Wang Yidi.
I was impressed with Sha and her ability to reach out, fully extend to cover. Watch this. That one, she was moving the opposite way and leaves the arm behind.
Five-four. Five-all.
What happened there? Disappointment for Wang Manyu, and you can see the face says it all, doesn't it? Expected to do a lot better with that one. And these are valuable points, aren't they? They're matching each other point for point in this one. But as you said just a few moments ago, this is a must-win for the number 2 seeds.
Yeah, you can feel the pressure, that extra responsibility. Extra top spin. Yeah, what are you saying?
Oh, you said the pressure, and I said, well, that's a great way to deal with it.
Yeah, adding some pressure of your own. Fire with fire in this context seems to burn bright.
Please, no flashlight.
Speaking of which, man, was that foreshadowing or what?
5-6.
The prophecy has been fulfilled.
7-5.
Second towel break. And there's some confidence, yet guarded optimism, I would say, from the world number 1 and 2 in singles. Wang Manyu and Sun Yingsha. From behind the table, round like the sun, Sun Yingsha spun it up and won it from deep behind. Beautiful flip. It's the pancake flip where Wang Yidi comes in and then quickly turns the racket over. So it looks like push at first, but then flipped.
Now it's the number 2 seeds closing in on this one. This is a great response to that pressure. Knew they were in a must-win, matched each other point for point until they got to 5-all. To get this one wrapped up.
Pressure in near the net. Wang Manyu sets up 4 game points for her and Sun Yingsha to go to the decider to fight the final game for the title.
will feel hard done by that one, won't they?
It's a wonderful recovery as YINGSHA gets the crowd roaring after this net recovery. If she could make it roll on the table, that's high risk. As soon as it gets a second bounce, the point is over. That means you just hit it barely above the height of the table, which is counterintuitive because you're used to hitting it above the net. Not required. There it is, out of reach. They save another game point, KUAI and Wang YIDI. Third towel break. If you're curious why Wang MANYU's not wearing a headband, well, I asked her and she said, I don't want to have to wash it.
Fair answer.
Yeah.
8-10.
Seemed to be a bit of confusion, a bit of miscommunication, perhaps getting in each other's way a little bit there.
This is a perfect push. Get ready. YINGSHA as deep as can be, under and just a little side spin to get KUAI to chase that wide forehand. And we get exactly what we want as spectators. One more game between this mix and mashup of some of the best in the world. So the conversations continue and they'll plan. They'll go back to the order of game number one, but when one pair reaches 5 points, they'll switch sides of the table and order of play. They get to choose their server, which determines the receiver. The final game, the decider, will determine who the champions are of the women's doubles at the first ever United States Smash.
Who will serve? Wang.
Here we go then. This is the decider. This is game number 5.
Please no
How do
flash
you approach
photography.
this one?
Thank you.
Play it safe,
Fifth and
go
final
for
game.
broke, take a
Wang to
gamble.
serve.
What will the conversations have been?
I think 2 of the last 3 would be more likely. I don't think play it safe is going to be too much in the vocabulary out here. But it's going to be fine-tuned. Very keen, clear plans.
Love one.
For example, surprise with the serve. Keep it subtle. If you do serve deep, be very specific, maybe towards the middle of the table, depending on who's receiving, who's waiting for the next ball. And there's the fearlessness. KUAI has had it. Again, staying loose allows you more racket speed. It also allows you muscle memory to not be tensed, just to be consistent the way you practice.
2-1.
At the top level, the players know how to train to get the experience they need to be in this situation. Team China, even when they play men versus women, it's 8-6. The women have a head start. They play high pressure matches, sometimes 9-9.
2-all.
So I think it's a little bit more the go for broke style out here. Make your opening attack count. When you decide, don't hold back. Don't get caught in between. If you push heavy spin, or play it very delicately. When you attack,
I think that was the perfect way to describe KUAI when you said fearless.
she is the youngest on the court.
That's 2 consecutive incredible forehands from the racket of KUAI there.
3-all.
And that said, YINGSHA and Wang MANYU have the answer. YINGSHA defends and leaves it deep for what feels like the top edge of the racket. More so sounds like. Can hear the difference at the contact. Perfectly placed into the middle, gets Wang YIDI with the racket head straight up in this point. I was wondering when we were going to have a
Timeout.
timeout. Jinx, Roman Klecker, you can't speak. Nah, it doesn't apply when you're the umpire.
First time out of this final then, and it was taken by KUAI Man and Wang YIDI. I was making a portmanteau of the two names there, and I don't know how much of that conversation you were able to catch, but what do you think of this? What do you make of this timeout at this stage in game number 5? Just a point in it.
Yeah, I caught 0%, which is a percent. Or not. But yeah, in terms of what I think they might need to do out here, what they might be trying to do, I think 1, staying positive, 2, parallels where they can, but also peripheral vision. It's so important to look, of course, to have a sense of where the opponents are in any given moment. It's like that question of how do you return a shot? Well, you can return it any way you want. The question is understanding how the spin affects your shot and who's standing on the other side of the table and what their greatest weapons are. These players know each other as well as anybody could know, as well as 4 players could know each other.
4-5.
And also very wisely hitting it right back to the target that YINGSHA becomes as soon as it's off her racket. The last player to hit the ball must get out of the way for their partner. Jamming up the 2 right-handers, trying to take advantage of the space. The righty-lefty combo trails by 1.
Well, they had to fend off a constant attack, just barrage
6-4.
of attacks there from the number 1 seeds, but YINGSHA, Wang MANYU, solid defense, a bit of fortune at the end there. They now lead by 2.
Yeah, very agile there, YINGSHA, to get the racket up the forehand to cover the middle. The crowd loves a good warning to play. Surprise, surprise, Wang MANYU misleading with the backhand. There's some really good fan art out there. Oh, so good. Screech marks on the floor under the feet of Wang YIDI after that backhand. Perfect read of the side spin coming in. YIDI on top of the bounce. Little shake of the free hand from Wang MANYU. That's probably the most side spin I've seen Wang MANYU play on a forehand in quite some time. Look how low she gets for that. She's trying to keep those legs loose for these tense moments where she's powering, lunging to get herself around the ball for a forehand where need be.
Let 5-7. Please no flash photography. Thank you.
Right behind the VIP. There it is. All right.
5-7.
It's a fine balance of policing but not shaming. They're doing a good job.
It was that big forehand from YINGSHA that set her teammate up so well for that winning point. Momentum firmly now. YINGSHA, Wang MANYU, 6 of the last 8.
8-6.
Remember, this is the decider. This is the...
Earn Canadian Tire money just for filling up at Petro-Canada and Gas Plus.
Week in Vegas. Wang YIDI, one of three with a similar story.
KUAI, of course, just narrowly, agonizingly
9-6.
missing her place in the final in the singles tomorrow. It looks as though it's going to be YINGSHA, MANYU who put this one, who get this one over the line, unless top seeds have got an answer.
A net recovery, KUAI and an extra spin. Man. Tightening up here. That wrist. MANYU makes the first one, which was the tougher one. Just trying to rehearse again how to contact the ball to brush on the counter with the top spin coming in for the arc that she wants.
Here the effort is going into making every shot. And look, just like that, that deficit has been reduced to a single point. And we've got another timeout.
There's a correlation between grunts and effort, but not necessarily between grunts and success. As the clock ticks down, it's the pair there that was up 9-6 2 points ago, now have opponents on their tails. There's something lovely, even if you can't hear the details of what they're saying, just in the tone of voice and the body language, the fine balance between confidence and humility, that they're both willing to sacrifice and meet in the middle. The world number 2, nobody better in the world, and MANYU not far behind her. Listening to the way they converse is really special. Like engineers, they're solving a problem. There's no ego involved. That said, serve with Wang YIDI. And the short side into the middle, 3 points in a row. We've got 9-9 in the decider at the third towel break. It'll be the last 2-serve combination of this match, of this event. And look at that. Wow, 6% better. Wang YIDI and KUAI, and they've got the serves on their side. That said, well, the serve's from the other side. Oh, serve is on the other side. YINGSHA, 46%, her and MANYU. Shot into the body.
She's so fast, KUAI, bringing up championship point. Who'd have predicted we'd have been in this position when there was 6-9 down? But KUAI spotted this space. Converts the first championship point to take the title. They are the winners of the first ever